When you think of a family, what comes to mind? 30 years ago, that answer would most likely be a father, a mother, and their children. Today, families commonly consist of one parent. The rate of children born out of marriages has steadily risen over the past 40 years. In traditional families, the mother and father are the primary caretakers of their offspring. When one of these caretakers is absent from the child's life, another individual may fill in as a secondary caretaker for the child. Grandparents often take this role. Evolutionary psychologists theorize that the ultimate goal of any person is to increase their inclusive fitness. The inclusive fitness of an individual involves how many offspring one can produce and support until they reach sexual maturity. The whole idea is that the individual strives to have their genes passed down from generation to generation. Inclusive fitness also includes allocating your resources so that your offspring will have success in developing. Thus, it would make little sense to invest in a child or infant that does not carry your genes. Mothers have 100% parental certainty that their infants carry their genes. Fathers, however, don't have this because the mother possibly could have been unfaithful. When this is applied to grandparents, maternal grandmothers are the only grandparent that has 100% certainty that their grandchild is a product of her genes. Maternal grandfathers and paternal grandmothers have less certainty that their grandchild is theirs because they each have one potential instance in which a spouse could have been unfaithful. Paternal grandfathers have the least parental certainty because their spouse could have been unfaithful, and also their son's spouse potentially could have been unfaithful, giving him two instances of uncertainty. Studies have found that grandparental investment in grandchildren has been reflective of parental certainty. A strong indicator of future intelligence in infants is their ability to habituate to stimuli. When an infant habituates to a stimulus, it indicates that the infant has retained a memory of that stimulus. The infant has encoded and stored that information to make a memory. A powerful way to measure an infant's ability of retaining memories is to present the infant with the stimulus until it habituates. The less time it takes for the infant to habituate indicates that the infant has developed strong encoding and memory skills. This experiment investigates the impact of grandparental investment on an infant's ability to encode and retain memories, which these abilities indicate the future intelligence of the infant. In order to measure grandparental investment, grandparents will be given surveys. These surveys will ask questions about the grandparent's firstborn grandchild. These questions ask about the interactions between the grandparent and their grandchild when the grandchild was 3 months of age. The questions include how much time and money the grandparent invested in their grandchild. The questions will also ask how far away the grandparent lives from their grandchild and how close the grandparent feels towards their grandchild. In addition, there will be a question concerning the relationship between the two family members, whether the grandparent is a maternal grandmother or a paternal grandfather, for instance. The grandchildren themselves are the subjects, and the speeds at which they habituate to a stimulus will be tested. The experiment requires that the infants are 9 months of age at the time of the experiment. The infant will be shown a pair of objects for periods of 60 seconds, separated by intervals of 10 seconds. For the purposes of the study, habituation occurs when the infant looks at the pair of objects less than 25% of the time, or 15 seconds of the habituation period. The amount of habituation periods will be measured. The amount of periods it takes for the subject to habituate to the stimulus will indicate how developed its encoding and memory skills are. These results will be cross-referenced with the amount of grandparental investment the subject receives, shown by the survey their grandparent completed. The findings of this experiment will give insight on if caretaking by someone who isn't traditionally the caretaker, specifically grandparents, has any effect on the development of mental capabilities in infants. This is important because a large portion of families is not the traditional father, mother, and child structure. The care and investment by the grandparents could supplement or be in addition to the care that is given by the mother and father of the infant. If it is shown that grandparental investment influences the development of the infant, then real families could implement that into the techniques of raising their children. Thank you for watching this video.